Well, Neewer have iterated on their portable flashlight style spotlight concept with the introduction of the FL20. So this is the FL20 and this is the predecessor, the FL10. If you had the FL10 and were always struggling to get brighter GOBO shapes on your background, the FL20 is going to be the answer to your prayer. So both of these lights come with the same set of accessories. We've got a portable carry bag. The FL20 is slightly bigger than the FL10. You've got a USB-C to USB-C charging cable to charge the internal batteries of the system. You get a silicone spout to fit over the end of the flashlight to accommodate the 20 GOBO shapes that are provided with each of the lights. I want to look at the major differences between the FL10 and the FL20 so you can make your mind up whether the FL20 is worth the additional purchase. So basically the FL10 has a power output of 10 watts where the FL20 has a power output of 20 watts. The maximum brightness of the white chip in these lights gives a lux value of 1620 on the FL10 and 3000 on the FL20, so almost double the light output from the FL20. Now the battery specification is where there's been a major change. The FL10 had an internal 3.7 volt 7500 milliamp hour battery, where the FL20 has changed to a higher power 11.1 battery system at 4500 milliamp hours. If we look at that in real terms, the FL10 has a 27.75 watt hours compared to the 49.95 watt hours of the FL20. So again, almost double the power of the FL10. Very slight change to the overall length. The FL10 is 6.1 inches and the FL20 is 7 inches or 15.5 centimeters versus 17.7. FL20 is slightly heavier, it's 1.2 pounds or 543 grams, where the FL10 is 0.92 pounds or 416 grams. Both of the units feature 3 ⅛ mounting points, so in the base and up sides of the cylindrical body. It's the same exactly with the FL10. You've got the two opposite each other and the one in the base. That gives you multiple points, so you can set this up either on a tripod or from a C-clamp or something like that to give you the projection that you need. Both of the lights can operate with a beam angle from 10 to 60 degrees, and that's accommodated by a push-pull zoom on the FL10. That was one of the criticisms I had when I first reviewed the FL10, that the grease in there and the O-ring are so stiff it's quite difficult to adjust, where the FL20 now has a much smoother zoom facility on the head. Slight change to the color pattern that's available. So you've got the white, you've got orange, you've got red, and you've got blue chips in the end. So you haven't got a HSI full color spectrum, you've just got white, which is a warm white, red, amber, and blue. Both devices use a rotary switch here to power up the unit. So you press and hold for 2 seconds, the outside rim will turn green, and then you quickly turn the knob, and that allows you to adjust the intensity from a value of 1% all the way up to 100%. And by pressing the button, you can see we can change the color. So there we have the amber, then the red, and again the blue, and again you can adjust the intensity of those colors. To turn it off, you just again press the button. If we look at the FL20, the sequence is slightly different. So again, pressing over 2 seconds, you can just about make out the fact that there's a green LED in there. It's not as bright as the ring on the FL10. So while you press that, and you can just see the green light, again, just turn the power. So you can see we have the bright white, and again, you can adjust the intensity from again 1% to 100%. One click now puts you into the red LED where we got an amber LED on the FL10. The second one is the amber followed by the blue. So the sequence of the lights is slightly different on the FL10 to the FL20. So the idea of these is to project a shadow onto your background. So with that, you install the silicone hood on the end of the device and push it down until it stops, and then you've got a selection of gobos here, 20 in total. They're the same ones with the FL10 as with the FL20. So here we've got the setting sun on water sort of thing. To install it, it just goes into the ridge on the end of the device. They are only a sort of a plastic material, they're not metal. So once it's installed, you can see that I can project that onto my background. And we can adjust the intensity. You can change the projection angle by using the zoom. There's no facility to focus that beam. It is dependent on the distance from the light to the background. So if we wanted that to be our sunset on the water, we could have that sort of shape. If we compare that on the FL10 now, if I just turn this one off, I'll install that on the FL10, turn up the power, and we'll change to the orange light. You can see that at full power, it's nowhere near as bright as the FL20. And so you can see on the background now the projection of sort of a window pattern provided by one of the gobos in the kit. And again, set to blue. I can actually change the color to make that white if we wanted to. So we got sort of daylight shining through. So you can change the shape and the position of it by rotating that gobo in the head. Now, both of the lights, when they're fully discharged, do take a fairly long time to charge up, and that is something like 270 minutes or 4.5 hours. So once you've got them depleted, you are into that sort of period of time to charge them up. Fortunately, both of these lights can be powered from a USB PD delivery system if you wanted to have that extended runtime. So if you've got a power bank or a wall socket that you can attach the USB-C to USB-C cable, then you can run for an extended period of time. From a fully charged battery, you're still into sort of 3 hours maximum runtime from either of these lights. Just to reiterate, the zoom head changes the beam angle from a 10 degrees to a 60-degree beam angle. So in summary, the FL20 has some major advantages over the FL10. Mainly the power output gives you that extremely powerful light to shine onto your background. The change to the zoom is much better. It's really stiff on the FL10. Sometimes you just pull the gobo off when you're trying to adjust the zoom. So that was one of the major problems I highlighted when I reviewed the FL10. So the FL20 is going to be a permanent feature now in the studio, where I can get brighter background gobos for different productions. Well, that's it for my dual review, if you like, of the FL10 versus the FL20. Once again, thanks to Neewer for sending out the FL20 so I could make this comparison. But as with all my reviews, they're fully independent. I won't take scripts. I'm not told what I can't say or what I can say. They're my own thoughts and words, and if there are any issues with either of the lights, you've got to hear about them in this video. So, thanks for watching, and if you're a new viewer and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, why not hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon to be advised when I upload new videos to the channel. If you wanted to watch the full FL10 review, I'll put that in the end of the video screen there. So, until the next video, thanks again for watching. Please do take care, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye for now.